Welcome dear students, we are on the CEC Gurukul lectures. In the today's lecture, we discuss about the simple pendulum. We are in the series of experimental physics and today's experiment related to the mechanics. So, we discuss the simple pendulum. Hope you will understand this. What are the objective of this experiment? The objective may be defined as first, to find out the effective length of a simple pendulum for given time period using the graph. It means we plot a graph to find out a effective length of a simple pendulum for a particular time period. Second, we calculate the acceleration due to gravity g at a place. Aim of the this experiment is plot a graph between L versus T square, length versus time period for the simple pendulum. First, we understand what is the simple pendulum. Simple pendulum basically is a heavy point mass that is called the bob, which hanged with the inextensible, flexible, weightless string. Means we are having a massless or weightless string which is made of the cotton stitching we will take, then we just attach a bob at the end of this string and this bob having a mass. It means a ideal simple pendulum consists of a heavy point mass that is called the bob, which is tied with the one end of the string which is flexible, weightless and inextensible. We make type of the metallic spherical bob to a fine cotton stitching thread. We take a thread and we just attach a bob at the one end of the string, that is the simple pendulum. Now, you see, it's on the screen we are having a simple pendulum. Here we are having a massless rod, that may be rod and that may be the string. At the last end of it, there is a massive bob. Massive bob, you see, this is like a ball, and that is having the, now you see on the left hand side, and then arrow mark, dotted arrow mark represent the bob trajectory where this massive bob take a rotation, and at the center we are having a equilibrium position. It means this pendulum rotate in a to and fro manner, and that to and fro manner, the distance that we measure, the trajectory is the bob's trajectory, and we calculate the amplitude, and then you see there is a theta, which is the angle through which the bob can oscillate, connect with the thread. So, this is a schematic diagram of the simple pendulum, like we are having a bob and it is attached with the thread, and then we take the to and fro motion of this bob. Now, the first thing, there are some terms which is essential to know. First is the length of the simple pendulum. How we consider the length of the pendulum? The distance between the point of suspension of the pendulum and the center of gravity of the bob. Then it is called the length of simple pendulum. It means we take the center of the bob and the last point of the string. So, the distance between the point of suspension of the pendulum and its center of gravity is known as the length of the simple pendulum, and it is represented by the L, simple letter L. Time period of the simple pendulum. The time period, this is the time taken by the bob of a simple pendulum to make one complete oscillation. When we give a force to that simple bob, then it will oscillate. When it comes its original position, then we can say that it completes its one oscillation. Then it is a time period of a simple pendulum, and it is represented by the capital T. Next, which is most important, is the acceleration due to gravity, that is represented by the G. which depends upon the length and the time period. Now the time period of a simple pendulum depends on the length of the pendulum and the acceleration due to gravity, that is the g. Now we can explain the time period is equal to 2 pi root of L by g, where L is the length and g is the acceleration due to gravity. For a small amplitude oscillation, we take the t square is equal to 4 pi square into 1 L by g. Now we can say g is equal to 4 pi square then L by t square. Then if we take the value of L and t, the length of the string, length of the pendulum plus time period taken by oscillations taken by the pendulum, then we can calculate the acceleration due to gravity g at a particular place. So this is the formula to find out the acceleration of the gravity. Now the next, in the aim we define the L and t square, length and t square is the time period. So then we plot a graph between the length and the time period. It means we change the length and then we note down the time period of the oscillation, that how much the length of the string, length of the pendulum affect the time period of the oscillation. So we plot a graph between the I and t2 or the t square here by taking the I along the x-axis and t square along the y-axis, and then we get the straight line graph, and we take the slope of that, then we put this value of L by t square in the given formula, then it will be g is equal to 4 pi square AB by BC, that is the slope of this graph, and then we can get the acceleration due to gravity by means of the graph plot. Now what is the material required for this experiment? Number one is a very easy experiment and very small things required here. Number one is a clamp with the stand. Number two is a split cork, cotton thread, it must be of the 2 meter long, a bob like a heavy ball, metallic ball, that is a bob, vernier caliper to find out the diameter of the bob, stopwatch to calculate the time period, meter scale to calculate the length of the pendulum. So these are the material required for this simple pendulum experiment to find out the acceleration due to gravity. Now what is the theory behind this experiment? In this experiment we discuss that what formula we will use and what is the physics behind it. Now when we just take a simple pendulum and is displaced is equilibrium position, means when we just give a force to the pendulum and it will move and take the oscillation, it means firstly when there is the no force act upon a pendulum, then it will be in its equilibrium position. It means it is parallel to the wall where it is hanged. So when the force is given to and it is displaced its equilibrium position, and there will be a restoring force that moves the pendulum back towards its equilibrium position. When we apply a force, when we displace it from its equilibrium position by giving a force, then it will oscillate. Then what force will come back? It is to equilibrium position, then that force is the restoring force. So restoring force moves the pendulum back towards its equilibrium position. As the motion of the pendulum carries it past the equilibrium position, the restoring force changes its direction so that it still directed towards the equilibrium position. Again the backward force is act upon it and it will come again at its equilibrium position. Now what is the formula? How to generate a formula? If the restoring force is F, is opposite and directly proportional to the displacement x from the equilibrium position, so we can write it as F is equal to minus Ks. We are taking the minus sign because it is opposite direction, so we take it as F is equal to the force is equal to minus K into x. It is directly proportional to x, so displacement, so the directly proportionality replaced by the k, and it is opposite, so we take it as minus x. So restoring force is opposite and directly proportional to the displacement of the pendulum from its equilibrium position. That's why F is equal to minus kx. And the next, motion of the pendulum will be a simple harmonic motion, as we know, and its period can be calculated by using the equation as given below, which is the simple harmonic motion, which calculates the simple harmonic motion. Then T is equal to 2 pi root of m by k. Now it can be shown that it is amplitude of the motion is kept small. Motion is kept small, the equation will be satisfied, and the motion of simple pendulum will be the simple harmonic motion, and this equation can be used. Now you see here in the diagram, this is the restoring force which is acting upon a simple pendulum. You see there is on the left hand side diagram we are having the pendulum which is rotating, and there x is the displacement from its equilibrium position at an angle theta. Now you see on the middle diagram that here we are having the T is the torque which is acting upon this bob. So the F, we will define it as the mg. This mg resolved into two component. One is the F mg sin theta, and second is the mg cos theta. Mg cos theta is in the one in the one direction and other is the another direction. So mg sin theta is in the direction of the rotation of the bob. So this is now here we see that the F mg divided into two components, one is sine and one is cos. So the restoring force for a simple pendulum is supplied by the vector sum of the gravitational force on the mass mg that produces a tension in the string that is defined by the T. So the magnitude of the restoring force depends upon the gravitational force as well as the displacement of the mass from its equilibrium position. Now from the figure we are having that mass m, bob mass is m, so it is suspended by the string which is having the length L, and it is displaced from equilibrium position with an angle theta and the distance x along the arc through which the mass move. As we have seen in the diagram that theta is the angle and x is a displacement, and this will be defined when it is displaced from equilibrium position, then it's covered the distance x. The gravitational force can be resolved into the two components, one along the radial direction or away from the point of suspension, and one along the arc in the direction of the mass move. One component is m cos theta and another component is m sin theta. The component which is along the arc provides the restoring force, that is F. Then we can write it as F is equal to minus mg sin theta, where g is the acceleration of gravity and theta is the angle of pendulum is displaced, and the minus sign indicates that the force in the opposite direction of the displacement. So F is equal to minus mg sin theta. Now for a small amplitude we can take theta will be the small amplitude. If we give the less force, then theta is small, then sin theta can be approximately theta measure in the radians, so that we can write it as F is equal to minus mg theta. If the amplitude is small, then the equation will be F is equal to minus mg theta. Now you see in this diagram that we are having a stand, where this is a schematic diagram how we perform the experiment in the laboratory and how we place the pendulum in the laboratory. First you see that here the stand where we are having a cock, and then pendulum is attached with this hanger. Then now you see that its position is changing as A, B, C. Now the A is the equilibrium position, and then it is moving right hand side and left hand side. That is a to and fro motion that define it, the to and fro motion. Now you can measure the length of this string by using the scale. So this is the schematic diagram and we use in the laboratories. The angle theta is in the radian, then we can take it as x divided by L, the arc length divided into the length of the pendulum. So the arc length, or we can say the distance of the bob from its equilibrium position, the radius of the circle in which the mass moves, the restoring force is then given by F is equal to minus mg. We place the theta value here, x by L. Now you see that time period t is equal to 2 by root of m by mg by L. Now as we change it, then we have the t is equal to 2 pi root of L by g. Therefore, for a small amplitude, the period of simple pendulum depends upon the length and the value of acceleration due to gravity. It means the time period will depend upon the L and G. L is the length of the pendulum and G is the acceleration due to gravity that we can find out. Now you see in the diagram that this is the motion of the pendulum. It is in the to and fro. You see that the theta is equal to minus a plus 1. One is in the positive direction and another is the direction. Now you start that this, you see, from a to minus a, then it will come to plus a. It means it's complete the one time period. You see in the diagram as it is moving from start and moving to the minus a, then again it come to the plus a. This will complete the one rotation, and that time period we will note. In this manner we take the 20 times movement of this ball. So we now see that this is attached with the this is the formula. T is equal to 2 pi root of L by G, where L is the string length and G is the gravity. Now we can find out, do we know the time period is, we note in the seconds. So this is the unit of the time period measurement. Now what is the procedure of this experiment? This is very simple. We place a clamp, stand on the table, tie the hook attached to the pendulum bob to the one end of the string, which is about the 150 centimeter in the length, then pass the other end to the string through the half piece of the split of the cork. Means we attach the string at the attach the string with the bob at the 1 centimeter length. Now clamp the split cork firmly in the clamp stand such that the line of the separation of the two pieces of the split cork right angle to the line of OA. That means it should be attached in the straight line. There should not be any damage or there is any crack in the string, and so that it can move smoothly. Then we take it by the sign OA, mark with the piece of the chalk or the ink on the edge of the table a vertical line parallel and adjust behind the vertical thread through the, that is mentioned by OA, the position of the bob at the rest. First we keep the bob at rest parallel to the wall, and it will not move. It will be in a straight line. After that we hang the just it should be 2 centimeter above from the floor, so that the movement can be easily done. And we measure the effective length of the simple pendulum by using the meter scale. Then displace the bob from the one side, means we put a force on this bob and we displace this bob not more than 15 degree angular displacement from the vertical position OA, means the vertical position is OA, then at a 15 degree we displace this bob and then release gently. Then next step, find out the we will find just we put some heavy object on its base so that we can measure easily. Then make sure the bob starts oscillating in a vertical plane about its rest or mean position. It means it should move in the same vertical position as OA. Spin about its own axis. It will be done, it should not be done. Move up and down, not should be done. It means it move only in the vertical direction, the to and forth motion. So and revolve in the path should not be round, it should not be up and down, it must be in a vertical plane about the rest, which is its position. Then keep the pendulum oscillating for some time. After completing a few oscillation, we start the stopwatch and we just note down its reading and we count it from the 0 oscillation. Then keep the counting oscillations like 1, 2, 3 up to n. Every time the bob cross the mean position, that is OA, in the same direction, from left to right it will move. From right to left, from left to right, then it is completed 1 oscillation. Then we take the reading for the n value and count, that is 20 to 25 of the oscillation. There is to complete just that is the total n oscillations completed. For the better result, n should be chosen such that the time taken for the oscillation is the 50 seconds or more. Now we take the reading, total time taken by the bob just to complete the n oscillation. It may be 20, it may be 40, we have to fix. Repeat this observation for a few times by noting the time of the same number n of the oscillation. Again we do this experiment but the n number will be the fix. Then we take the mean of this reading. Then we compute this reading by the formula T is equal to T divided by n. T is the time period, and then you see that small t divided by n. When the particular oscillations we are taking 52, then what is the time we take is taken by the pendulum. Then we will take the mean of all the readings. We are having the set of readings. Then we find out the time period. Now we change the length of the pendulum, as we just have to plot a graph between L and T square. So we have to change the length, because the length versus time period we will calculate, then we change the length. Change the length of the pendulum about 10 centimeter, and this experiment will be repeated again. Again we just displace it from its equilibrium position and we calculate for the 20 oscillation, and again we change the, and in this manner we take the 5 and 6 observation of the different length of the pendulum, and we will find the mean period in each cases. Then we record the observation in the tabular form and the proper units and significant figure. Then we plot a graph between the effective length and t square. Along we take the L x-axis and we take the t square at the y-axis in the observation table. Then we plot a graph. Then we can get the straight line. Now what are the observation we can take? We will find out the radius of the pendulum bob, that is given, and that we can also measure from the vernier caliper, that is also given. Length of the hook given, that is the given. Least count of the meter scale, least count of the stopwatch. First we take these observation, after that we take this reading. Now you see here in the table we change the length, then we take the time period, we take the basic steps, follow the basic steps. Now this is the graph which we will get, which is a straight line. Then we will take the slope of that, then we put in the reading. What are the precautions we can have in this experiment? First, the thread should be strong, weightless, and it is inextensible. It means it should not have any knot, and it will be the straight. The point of suspension should be fixed in the rigid spot. Lower faces of the split cork should be same level. Other precautions are splitting should be perpendicular to the plane of the vibration of the pendulum. Amplitude should be small. It must be theta is equal to 0 and theta must be less than 18 degree. The bob should move along a straight line in the vertical direction. bob should not spin during the vibration. It will take the vertical vibration. The place of the experiment should be free from the disturbance and building vibration and air current. The laboratory fan should be off during this, otherwise it will keep disturbance in the movement of the bob. Length of the pendulum should be include the length of the hook and the radius of the bob, and counting should be proper and started from the 0. Clock should be accurate. Length of the pendulum should be increased in the step of 10 centimeter. Meter scale should be accurate so that we can take the reading. Thank you very much.